Minecraft time, boys! It's Minecraft time! Get out your lore books! It's time for some new Minecraft lore! Oh, boy, have I waited long for this. Have you? Have you? Be honest. Have you? You have. Great, you silly little... Hello everyone, my name is the Voice Penny, as y'all know me, and today we're reacting to some more Matpat Minecraft reviews. Reviews? Theories. Theories. Today's one is about the Allay. Of course, the newest Minecraft mob. I haven't played the new Minecraft shit. I think I want to, but I get the Allays, you know? I know what they do, I know what they're up to. So, I can kind of get where he's getting assumptions from, and what the hell he's gonna pull out of the LA Minecraft lore, but, you know, I know enough about the LAs to know what the hell he's gonna talk about. The topic is the tortured ghosts of Minecraft. I'm guessing he's referring to the LAs, but I think he could also be referring to the... what's it called? The Vexes? I think the Vexes from the Vindicators. Those things, because they're pretty much the same, you know? Like, the LAs are the good ones, the Vexes are the bad ones. Didn't realize that until now, but I guess I just came up with smart shit on the spot. Oh yeah, by the way, as a disclaimer, if you see me sweating my balls off in this video, that's because it's extremely hot outside. I look like glazed ham, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm just gonna spray water on me, because this helps. I got fucking sociopath shooting myself. Alright, never mind, let's just watch the video, alright? Let's watch some more Matpat the boy, as we always call him. Why is he riding in the dream car? My brain is fried, man. I just see that color of a green, I just instantly think of dream. Oh, wait. I'm retarded.
Iron. Glass.
Look at that helpful little boy. Hello, little blue boy.
Perfect. The Theorismobile is finally back to its former glory.
Oh, it is. It isn't a dream car. It's the Theorismobile, everyone. It isn't a dream car, okay? Isn't the mask mobile?
And we're good to go. Car insurance. Wait, what? I said car insurance, not phone.
Aha! But the Allay has just given you exactly what you needed.
Tom? Where? Yeah.
Tom?
Are you okay?
Never better. Full damage is pretty generous in this game.
But why were you in a...
Shh, never mind that now. Listen, your Allay gave you a cell phone so that you could get...
Who the fuck is this Tom?
Geico, our sponsor for today's episode.
Oh.
Oh. There we go.
Oh, that's gonna hurt in the morning.
That's all we need to know. Matpat got fucking blasted.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to
Game Theory,
the show that gives you more videos when you give it more subscribe buttons. Recently, we did a theory all about some new inclusions to Minecraft during the Wild update. Specifically, we dug down into the deep dark to uncover the origins of the Warden.
Scary shit, by the way. I've played it myself now. This area is fucked. Never go there. I don't even think the loot is worth it. I mean, there's like enchanted diamond shit, but when you come to this place, you probably already have that. So you're only coming there for the useless disc, which the disc is pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you, but come on. It's terrifying.
How the Warden actually has the spirits of 5 children stuffed inside it, and the underground ancient cities are actually old, forgotten pizzerias.
Shut up, Matpat. Shut up.
Sorry. That was a theory from the comments. We actually talked about how the Warden was summoned by the ancient builders to defeat the Wither, but once it did, it went on to take over, eventually causing the ancient builders to have to flee to the end. Here's a dramatic recreation of how it happened.
I mean, this is like the second time Matpat has accused like the Wither or the Warden of having the master builders put onto the other dimension because they had to flee from them. Like, is it a Wither or is it a Warden?
Thank you. Titan has freed us.
Oh, I wouldn't say free. More like under new management.
But there was so much more to this Wild update than just the Warden that I didn't get the chance to talk about. We have the mangrove biomes that are full of intricate tree formations.
Which, personal opinions only on this channel. but the mangrove trees, like the biome, is pretty useless. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was very disappointed when I finally found my mangrove swamp and was very tiny. The rivers were practically non-existent, but the frogs were good. I like the frogs. Everyone likes the frogs.
We have frogs that eat slime and magma to produce light. Definitely a theory for another day, but
It isn't colored lighting, though.
long-awaited introduction of the
Such
2021 Mob Vote winner, the Allay. This mysterious-looking creature has one main function: to support the player in gathering resources. You give it an item, and it'll pick up more of that same item from the surrounding area. It's no wonder this thing beat out the glare and the copper golem.
No! Copper Golem should have won. Everybody loved the Copper Golem. How didn't it win?
Creature that tells you it's dark. I can't see and I'm being attacked by skeletons. Something tells me it might be a little dark in
Okay,
here.
I get it.
Meanwhile, this thing is perfect for adventurers,
See, he didn't have an argument for the Copper Golem because the Copper Golem would have been better.
for music lovers, and for gathering the most difficult resource in all of Minecraft, the lore. That's right, this thing is deep fried in the stuff, simultaneously confirming theories
Take a
we've had
shot
in the
whenever
past about
Minecraft,
other mobs,
whenever
while
Minecraft
also opening
Matpats is
brand new
lore.
doors for us to explore about the world. And true to form, it's dark, it is disturbing, and it'll confirm for you that bit by bit, it's this channel's mission to expose this bright and friendly building game for the disturbing, twisted dystopia that it's always been. And I'm not the one
okay.
who's putting sound effects like this into the game. I'm just the one who's there telling you what it all means. So
Fair enough.
let me be your personal Allay today. Give me a few minutes of your time,
Looks
and
fucking
I'll bring
awful.
back more lore than you could shake.
Why
a
the
stone
red
pickaxe
lips?
at.
Why not just
this,
blue?
my friends, is the tortured history of the Allay. Let's start things off with a hot take. The Allay look a lot like the Vex. Yep, I know.
Wow!
This is the searing insight that you come to this channel looking for. In all seriousness, though, this is obviously something that people have been calling out since the Allay's announcement, but I do think it's worth starting there to see whether the connection is more than just skin deep, or, I suppose, soul deep? Remember, the Vex aren't made of skin.
The Vex kind of have the eyebrows of the Illagers and the Vindicators, and the LA looks more like the player itself.
According to the Mob Bestiary, quote, "We do not know what a Vex's body is made from since it has not yet been possible to obtain a specimen, but it is quite possible that it is not flesh as we know it." We actually did a trio of theories back in 2020 that discussed the lore surrounding the Illagers, and in part 3 we took a closer look at the Vex specifically. Thanks to their lack of flesh, their ability to phase through walls, and the fact that they glow in the dark, we concluded that they aren't undead mobs like zombies or skeletons, but rather creatures made of souls. And that is souls plural. If you listen closely to their audio, you can hear multiple voices present. So, how does this compare to what we know about the Allay? Well, for starters, listen to one of the new sounds added to the game called Allay chortles. For those of you who don't know, to chortle means
Kinda
to
sounds
laugh
similar.
in a noisy or gleeful way. But even if you ignore the definition, you can totally hear it, right? The laughter of the Allay sounds very similar to one of the many voices heard within the shrieks of the Vex. Listen again and compare the two. And that's not all. The Allay share in the Vex's ability to glow in dark environments, which again would imply that it too is some sort of a spirit. But the biggest connection of all might just be the names. Vex is a word that means to anger or worry, while the word Allay means to relieve or alleviate. Clearly two opposite sides of the spectrum, kind of like an angel and devil on Minecraft Steve's shoulders, one hoping to bring him relief, the other worry. All of this tells us that these two are similar in many ways. They're both clearly spirits, but it doesn't quite tell us whether they're actually connected to each other. Are the Allay good versions of the Vex? Are they all just random spirits, or is there something else going on here? Well, again, let's go back to those Vex shrieks. In our previous videos, I talked extensively about how the Evokers seem to be experimenting using life and death. There was a lot of evidence pointing to that, but the fact that they drop totems of undying, literal tools for resurrecting the dead, is a pretty major clue pointing in that direction. And in that theory, I guess that the Vex was just another example of them using souls to create some new horrifying monster to do their bidding. Now, back at the time of the theory, we didn't know exactly where those souls were coming from, but now the answer is clear. The Allay are the ones being experimented on. They're being joined together and corrupted in order to create the Vex. Let's look for a minute at their spawn conditions. The Allay are only able to be found in pillager outposts in cages or in the woodland mansions locked up in jail cells.
Really?
Weirdly specific place to find anything, let alone some weird flying spirit creature. And you want to guess how many Allay can be found in each cage or cell? 1 to 3. The same amount of voices that we can hear inside of the Vex audio files. The evokers are literally gathering these spirit creatures.
Wait, but
up
how
and
do
then putting them into
how do
groups.
the LAs exist then? Like, how do they come to life? Because I get that, you know, they need a lot of Vexes, a lot of LAs going around, and that's why there aren't many to find in the overworld, and you can only find them by pillagers. But how did they come to? I mean, they're literally floating angels. Like, how the fuck?
Ready for the experiment.
Hopefully he gets into that
But
in another
is that
video.
all there is? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool that we've been able to use sounds and spawning mechanics to prove this connection beyond just they look the same. But is the Allay nothing more than a backstory for the Vex? Just doesn't seem right. The Allay, these flying spirit creatures, must exist for their own purposes beyond just the character everyone was already connecting them to. What are they specifically? Where do they come from? And perhaps the biggest question of all, why do they help us? I couldn't leave this many unanswered questions. I needed to look beyond the surface level stuff. I needed to dig deeper. Nope, too deep, too deep. What I mean is that we needed to go deeper into the history of the Allay. A history that actually goes back beyond the 2021 mob vote. I'm talking about the 2020 Nether update. It turns out the Allay was originally designed to be part of that update. It wasn't even going to be put up to a vote, like it was just going to be there. Now, if you're like me, when I first heard that, I wasn't all that surprised that it got removed. I mean, where does an angelic creature like the Allay fit into an update for Minecraft's version of HE double hockey sticks? Just feels a little counterintuitive,
I mean,
you know?
it's the exact opposite, you know? It's an angel, and that's basically hell.
But then I looked at the original designs and things started to make a lot more sense. Rather than being angelic creatures that looked like the Vex, the Allay started as small little cubes that left trails of blue flame behind them. Given that blue fire was a big part of the Nether update, things started to fit together much better. Plus, at this point in development, they weren't called the Allay, but rather wisps. In folklore, wisps, or more formally, will-o'-the-wisps, are depicted as ghostly lights or flames. So again, it would make sense for this to be part of the Nether update. Now, we don't exactly know why they were pulled from the game. Could have been as simple as they couldn't get the mechanics to work, but I have a feeling it might have to do with the lore implications. Wisp mythology varies a lot from region to region, but a recurring theme that I found in my research is that they're said to be the spirits of the dead. Now at first, that seems like it's an absolute slam dunk for the Nether. I mean, it is kind of the underworld after all. However, we also know that souls have a different form and purpose in the Nether. Soul sand and soul soil. Both of them play an important role for the Nether ecosystem. Without the souls of the dead being absorbed by the land, there would be no way for life in the Nether to exist the way that it currently does. So if you added a soul-based mob to the Nether, you'd have to explain why some souls become soul sand while others get to have a second life as a wisp. Basically, it screws things up, or at the very least overcomplicates things. But if you suddenly put these things out in the overworld, you don't have that problem. There's no naturally occurring soul sand, and so far, there's no explanation for what happens to the dead inside of this universe. Thus, the Allay can suddenly enter the game. Okay, so the Allay are the spirits of the dead, but then who died? Well, take a very close look at the Allay and tell me if you see something familiar. And this time, I'm not talking about the fact that they look like the Vex. Look at its head. Notice those subtle shading details? It has what appears to be a hairline. See those differently colored pixels at the top? Flat across the front, little arc around the sides of the head to reflect where ears would be. In fact, the pattern is very reminiscent of another character that we know all too well, Steve. Just look at the two of them side by side. It's
Whoa, it's literally the same.
I'm not suggesting that the Allay are the manifestations of the player character every time you die. Instead, I'm saying that the Allay are my favorite explanation for everything that we see in this game, the spirits of those who came before us. Say it with me now.
Ancient builders.
Looks like the Vex isn't the only thing with a lot of spirits inside that are screaming to get out. Anyway, I'm not saying this ancient race all looked like Steve, but what I am saying is that Mojang gave the Allay some of Steve's key features as a visual shorthand for letting us know that these creatures are connected to us as the player in some way. It might sound like I'm reaching here, but hear me out. When you free the Allay from their prisons, they'll act like most passive mobs. They'll just fly away without so much as a thank you. Now, mobs like wolves and cats will become friendly towards the player if you feed them enough, but the Allay Allay actually work differently. Instead of feeding them, the Allay only ask for one small thing, an item, any item. Quote, we gave the Allay and the player a magical connection formed when you give the Allay an item. That's actually a quote from Nir Ulraf Vaknin, a vanilla gameplay designer at Mojang. This isn't taming like the wolves and the cats, this is a special bond between the player and the Allay.
Bros.
In fact, they actually have a different set of sounds for when they don't have an item labeled yearn. A yearn is an intense feeling of longing and desire. The Allay need these items for some reason. They crave them. Well, what if they're the spirits of the ancient builders desperate to finish what they started? To finish their monuments, their cities, but they can't do it by themselves anymore. And when you do give them an item, things change. It suddenly pays attention to you. It helps you. It befriends you. Because it suddenly realizes who you are. A descendant. The new generation of builder that wants to continue exploring and creating, furthering their legacy. And to do that, you're gonna need items collected, something that the Allay can help with. I mean, why you'd want to erect a giant recreation of my head into the side of a mountain is something that they don't quite understand, and frankly neither do I, but hey, it's the spirit of creativity that they once had alive inside of you, and so they're more than happy to help out. The fact that the Allay can interact with the Minecraft world at all should be a major hint as to their origins. They're able to pick up items, they give them to the player, and they can drop them at the closest note block. The only other mob that we know that can interact with the world is the Enderman, a mob that can also pick up blocks. Another mob that, wouldn't you know, we also theorized are ancient builders.
So connected!
These guys are still alive. They evolved over centuries of being trapped in the end. Even the Allay's fondness for music makes sense. It dances when it's in range of a jukebox with a record playing, which may seem cute, but think back to the disc that we talked about in our last theory, disc number 5. That disc contains 23 seconds of music randomly inserted into the middle, part of a music disc that was owned by the ancient builders down in their ancient cities. Hearing music makes the Allay want to dance, reminding them of the good old days when they were happy and alive, dancing and listening to the music inside of a world that they themselves built. A fun little Easter egg for casual fans, but a bittersweet moment for anyone who knows the truth about this game's story. So dance on, little guy, dance on and remember those long lost days. And for you, I ask you to remember that it's all just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Nice. Gute shit. Gute shit again. Allays are explained. Thank you, Matpat, for more insightful lore. I mean, it's nice that Matpat isn't trying to like part for part let the bigger story unfold. No, he's just trying to explain things into the game, which, I mean, it all leads to something, but it isn't like a big story. It just explains what it is and how it's connected, which I think is way better. And that's I think that's kind of why these episodes feel a lot more, you know, there are a lot more videos on themselves instead of like episodes, like the FNAF series or the Puppy Playtime things. He's just trying here to explain what the hell these things are, and you know, he did a pretty good job with the Allays. You know, it's pretty clear, and I like it. You know, he's explaining the obvious because, you know, he's explaining the obvious in a good way. You know, he's explaining why and how instead of, oh yeah, well, the Allays have the hell out of the humans, so they're clearly connected. He's going in depth. And that's the best thing about it. So this one didn't feel as long as the usual videos, but I'm fine with it. It was very nice. Got some more insight on the Allay, even though I didn't know shit about them. And Copper Golem should have won. You can find me down in the comments. So, you know, another video done. If you like this one, then please go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. The Cuphead series, The Delicious Course, is coming more. Part 2 is coming very, very soon. And also another theory today or tomorrow. You'll just have to see when I edit this video. It's probably up there already or not. You'll just have to wait and see. And hopefully, I'll see you guys on that video or the next one. Okay, goodbye.
2 to the 1, 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat. 3 to the 1, 1 to the 3. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me. Conversation and Hennessy.